loves talking about luck until they meet somebody who outworked every excuse, every setback, and every person who doubted them. Ethan Carter used to hear the same thing over and over again. Man, successful people just get lucky. At first, he believed it too. How else could he explain watching influencers his age driving luxury cars while he struggled to afford gas? How else could he explain rich kids launching businesses with family money while he worked double shifts just to survive? Life felt unfair, and honestly, it was. Ethan grew up in a small, rundown neighborhood in a house town where dreams usually died before they even started. The streets taught people how to survive, not how to succeed. Everybody around him settled for average because average felt safe. But Ethan hated safe. At 19 years old, he worked at a fast food restaurant wearing a greasy uniform that smelled like fries and exhaustion. Every morning he woke up before sunrise, caught the bus across town, and spent 10 hours listening to angry customers complain about cold burgers and missing sauces. Some nights he came home so tired he fell asleep in his clothes. Still, even during the hardest days, Ethan carried one dangerous thing inside him ambition. While coworkers wasted breaks gossiping or scrolling social media, Ethan watched business podcasts and motivational interviews on his cracked phone screen. He became obsessed with successful entrepreneurs, athletes, and creators who built something from nothing. One thing stood out immediately. People who truly won in life were not magically lucky. They were consistent. That realization changed Ethan forever. Most people wait for opportunities. Ethan decided to create them. After work, every night he started learning graphic design online using free tutorials. His laptop was old, slow, and constantly overheating, but he did not care. While the rest of the city slept, Ethan practiced logos, branding, and social media content until 3 a.m. At first, he sucked badly. His designs looked terrible. Clients ignored him. Nobody took him seriously. One business owner even laughed at his profile and said, "Bro, this is not professional." That comment hit hard. For a few days, Ethan questioned everything, but eventually he realized something powerful. Beginners always look weak before they become dangerous. So he kept grinding. Weeks turned into months, months turned into years. While people around him chased shortcuts and quick money schemes, Ethan focused on getting better every single day. No excuses, no fake flexing online, just work. Meanwhile, his childhood friend Tyler took the opposite path. Tyler believed success was all about luck and connections. He constantly talked about becoming rich but spent most of his time partying, gambling, and waiting for some big opportunity to magically appear. Every conversation sounded the same. If I caught one lucky break, I am set. But luck never came. Ethan noticed something important during those years. People who complain about lucky usually avoid hard work. At 22, Ethan finally landed his first real freelance client. A local clothing store paid him $150 for a branding project. That amount might sound tiny to some people, but to Ethan it felt like proof his hustle could actually change his life. He celebrated by buying pizza for his mom. That night, sitting inside their tiny apartment kitchen, his mother looked at him with tears in her eyes. "I am proud of you," she whispered. Nobody had ever said that to Ethan before. From that moment on, failure stopped scaring him because now he had proof that progress was possible. So he doubled down harder than ever. Others relaxed on weekends, Ethan worked. While friends slept in, Ethan studied. While people made excuses, Ethan made sacrifices. Social media made success look glamorous, but Ethan learned the truth. Real success is boring before it becomes beautiful. It's reputation, discipline, loneliness, consistency, and most people quit long before results arrive. At 23, Ethan decided to launch his own digital marketing agency. Everybody told him that it was a terrible idea. "You don't got connections. The market's too crowded. You're not lucky enough." But Ethan no longer believed luck controlled everything. He believed preparation created opportunity. The beginning was brutal. Clients ghosted him constantly, payments came late. Some months he barely earned enough to cover rent. There were nights Ethan stared at his ceiling, wondering if everybody else was right about him. Maybe he was not talented enough. Maybe success belonged to other people. But then he remembered something his grandfather once told him as a kid. Hard work beats talent when talent gets lazy. That quote became his fuel. Ethan started waking up at 4:30 every morning, gym, learning, outreach emails, client work, skill development, repeat. Every single day, no motivation needed. He built discipline instead. That's when everything slowly started changing. One satisfied client referred another, then another, then another. Small wins stacked into bigger opportunity. By 25, Ethan had enough clients to quit his fast food job permanently. Walking out of the restaurant for the last time felt unreal. He sat inside his car afterwards, staring at his old uniform in silence. For years he prayed for that moment, but success still did not happen overnight. Ethan faced burnout, stress, and setbacks constantly. Competitors copied his work. Deals collapsed unexpectedly. Some clients refused to pay him thousands of dollars. Yet every setback taught him something valuable: patience, resilience, professionalism, mental toughness. That's another thing people misunderstand about success. Hard work does not guarantee an easy journey, it grants growth. One evening, Ethan attended a networking event in Los Angeles where successful entrepreneurs shared their stories. Listening to them speak shocked him because none of them sounded lucky. Almost every person described years of struggle nobody saw. Failed businesses, rejection, debt, stress, embarrassment. The media only showed the final results, not the painful process behind them. That realization gave Ethan even more confidence because if struggle was part of the journey, then maybe he was closer to success than he realized. At 26, Ethan's agency finally exploded. A viral campaign he designed for a fitness brand gained millions of views. Suddenly, companies everywhere wanted to work with him. Emails flooded his inbox daily. His income skyrocketed faster than he ever imagined. People who ignored him for years suddenly acted supportive. Funny how that works. Old classmates started messaging him. Bro, you got lucky. Man, you blew up overnight. Ethan laughed every time he heard that. Overnight? Nobody saw the years he spent, exhausted, broke, and doubting himself. He saw the sleepless nights, the rejection, the grind, the sacrifices. People love calling success luck because it's easier than admitting somebody simply worked harder than them. That truth hit Ethan hardest when he reconnected with Tyler one afternoon. Tyler still lived the same lifestyle, still complained constantly, still waited for luck. During the conversation, Tyler shook his head and said, Man, you got blessed. Ethan looked at him quietly for a second before answering. Nah, bro, I got disciplined. Silence filled the room because deep down Tyler knew it was true. Like luck might open a door once, but hard work keeps doors open forever. As Ethan's success grew, so did his mindset. He stopped chasing validation and started focusing on purpose. He hired employees from struggling neighborhoods like the one he grew up. He mentored young creators who lacked confidence. He openly shared his failures online instead of pretending life was perfect. People connected with his honesty because authenticity stands out in a world full of fake flexing. One day, Ethan spoke at a youth event back home in Housetown. Hundreds of teenagers sat listening while he shared his journey. Near the end of his speech, one kid raised his hand nervously. What if I am not lucky enough to make it? Ethan smiled. Most successful people are not lucky, they are just willing to work while everybody else quits. The crowd went silent. Then Ethan added, Luck is random, hard work is a choice, and choices change lives. That line spread all over social media afterward because it was real. People often wait for the perfect moment before taking action, but the perfect moment rarely exists. Success usually belongs to people who move forward despite fear, uncertainty, and struggle. Ethan learned that firsthand. Years later, he stood on the balcony of his luxury apartment overlooking the skyline at sunset. Expensive cars sat downstairs. His business generated more money in a month than he once earned in years. But none of that felt as meaningful as the journey itself, because deep down, Ethan knew the truth. The money was not the biggest reward, the transformation was. The shy, broke kid from a rough neighborhood had become confident, disciplined, and unstoppable through pure consistency. That's what hard work really does. It doesn't just change your bank account, it changes your identity. And maybe that's the most powerful lesson of all. Some people spend their whole lives waiting for luck to save them. Others wake up every morning and save themselves through effort. In the end, hard work beat luck because hard work showed up daily, even when results were invisible, even when failure hurt, even when nobody believed. That's why Ethan's story matters because it proves ordinary people can build extraordinary lives without shortcuts, fame, or perfect circumstances. All it takes is discipline, resilience, and the courage to keep grinding when quitting feels easier. So, if life feels unfair right now, if success seems far away, if people keep doubting your vision, remember this. Luck may help somebody start, but hard work decide who truly wins.